Meeting will be recorded and live webcast, and therefore, when speaking, please remember to clear and speak clearly into your microphone. As the chair of the meeting, I have the discretion to terminate and suspend recording and webcasting if, in my opinion, continuing to do so prejudices the proceeding of the meeting. Recording and webcasting of confidential items will also not take place. Please remember, if you leave the meeting room for any reason, you will not be able to take part in the vote on the item being discussed at that time. Please, can I request that when speaking, you make your points as succinct as possible to allow for the smooth running of the meeting. Please, can I also take this opportunity to remind you to be polite and treat each other with respect at all times. For members of the public wishing to use the toilets, these can be found off the landing immediately outside the committee room. Can I request that anyone who has brought a cup or glass into the committee room, please can return it to the kitchen area after the meeting is finished. Thank you. Right, so first of all, we've got public participation. So I'll hand it to Marcus.
Thank you, Vice Chair. So this statement has been submitted from Thompson Area Cycling Campaign. I just sent it around to all of the committee, but I will read out the record if that's okay. So we hope most of the planning committee are aware of TAC. We implement projects such as the Box Club Trail and campaign for better active travel provision. We also try to influence active travel provision through new developments. This can range from large urban extensions to small developments where provision can be overlooked. A recent example is the proposal for conversion of a building on Cannon Street to 12 units for young people, which the committee made comments on. The planning application made no provision for cycle parking for the residents. There are existing cycle parking standards in the SADMP, which should apply. TAC objected to the lack of cycle parking, and now cycle parking is proposed and conditioned in the officer's report. Another example where we work to get a good cycle parking solution is the new Chip Lane Aldi, where the active travel provision is now excellent, with covered well-spaced bike parking at the entrance to the store, and a separate entry for cyclists and pedestrians, so they don't have to mix it with the cars in the car park. The new body, Active Travel England, is a statutory authority on all planning applications for developments equal to or exceeding 150 housing units, 7,500 metres square, or floor space, or an area of 5 hectares. However, they won't always have our local knowledge. In future planning applications, please look for opportunities to improve conditions and facilities for cyclists and pedestrians, and please support comments from cycling groups and local cyclists. We are appealing to the planning committee to fully consider the needs of active travel when commenting on planning applications. To assist, we can provide the town clerk with our comments, or are happy to liaise with yourselves in the most appropriate way. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcus. So going back on then, does anybody have any comments? Okay, so I think we'll go on to the next step, which would be election of chair. So I'll call for any nominations. Councillor Fernandez.
8, Councillor Solly.
Councillor Stainford.
Stephen.
Thank you very much. Can I, so the next one would be, yeah, so we'll go for nominations now.
Any other nominations?
Any others?
No.
No?
There's a whole chat.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Yeah. Right, the next things would be apologies for absent, which is Councillor Furman and Councillor Strauss. Declarations of any interest. Is there any real change in the past month? Nope. Right, we go to the minutes. So it's to approve and sign the correct records, the minutes of the previous planning committee held on the 17th of January. Is there any comments? Can I get a proposal? That was great. Do I have a second?
I was absent, Chair, so I can.
You can actually. I've had this happen before, you can, but members don't like usually when they've not been party to understand.
Councillor Fernandez,
I'll second, if it's allowed.
Yeah,
should we go to the vote? Yeah. Thank you. Right, next is the comment on planning application received by the local planning authority. So the first one to look at is 5.1, 38 -24 0027, which is full planning permission, demolition of dwelling and erection of replacement of a one-bed single-storey dwelling on land to the rear of 14 Windley Road, Taunton. For a resubmission of 38-20-0073. Yeah, so, looking over this, over the last, before we get to looking into the plans, looking over the last week, over the last, application, there was 3 rejections, which, looking at it, the new application has actually, corrected. So these original, rejections were read. So the original application was considered over development of the site due to the dwelling size and locations. The revised application is for a smaller dwelling, which is further away from the road and has a flat roof that reduces the height of the dwelling and its visual impact. Number 2, the original application was deemed to provide insignificant outdoor amenity space. A reduction in size of the proposed dwelling has allowed for greater outdoor space to the front of the property and has increased distance from the dwelling at 14 Woodland Road. There is a further private outdoor garden area to the west of the French doors and the main living space. And the third one, the original proposed corrugated metal gable roof was considered to be out of character and overly conspicuous. Revised plans for a flat roof will reduce roof height from 4.6 metres to 3.2 metres. It's below the height of the existing dwelling, those of the neighbouring dwellings. So it looks to me that they've really gone back to the drawing boards and they've corrected the issues what were in place to actually put things correct. Yes, Councillor Tish.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I looked at this last night and I agree. It looks like the applicants have listened to the objections from the officers last time and made the amendments. I can't see any objections from neighbours or anything. I'm not an expert, but what I would say is the second version didn't look as nice as the first, but there you go.
Councillor Stapleton.
Thank you, Chair. I had a look at the weekend. Yeah, I think, given that there have been a demolition of previous property and that areas in similar size, and obviously the house with all the changes that they're facing on that's the reason why we've not considered that.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Is there any more comments? No. So would we be? I'd like to support this application because I really think they've put in the groundwork to make it a better application. So if you all agree, would you guys want to get a proposal? Councillor Stainford, can I get a second? Councillor Toots, and can we go to the vote? To support? Yeah. Yes, carries. Next one. The next application is 5.2 38-24-0024-LB. This is a list of building consent works, installation of vehicle incursion barrier in station 44 at Taunton Railway Station, which station approach from North Taunton. You want to come to the room?
Yeah. I don't think it's the kind of same, but that's generally those.
Councillor Stable.
Thanks, Chair. I know it's on listed building status, but it is just a barrier, which obviously the perceived issue as well. Is there any way in which it's attached to the listed building, or is it just on the side of the listed building section? Really, there what would be the issue with it being as the building, given that it's just,
So maybe because it changes, you know, I know it's a variance it is, but how the actual site looks on the outside, obviously it changes the look, so that might be the case why they've had to go down the listed building side of things. The aspect of the building view obviously changes. I looked back on, we're dealing with site at the moment with listed buildings. I went back on dates and the history of the train station goes back a long time. So, you know, I'm sure that, you know, they've done it for the right reasons. But in my list of buildings, don't see any issues. I wouldn't say that's a good thing. Councillor Lester.
So just to clarify, is it a security barrier or is it a parking barrier? Is it actually to improve security inside or is it just to allow access to the car park, for instance?
So it's a vehicle barrier. So I think that could probably be numerous amount of things. Probably a parking, but also perhaps a anti-terrorism. People driving off the tracks.
I don't see there's a very big difference between. Would you mind definitely on the plan state, because there's a bit more detail of where it's going in the plan statement.
that's it.
Where it's being cited. So the top where the railings are, that narrow strip,
Yes.
just where the turning is for the cars.
Behind it, yeah. So going down on the bridge, yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
So it's security.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, fine now. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see any issues with this application at all. So if we can, all good to support, can I get a proposer? Councillor Lester, can I get a seconder? Councillor Tully, and we'll go to the vote. Right, the third application tonight is 38-24-0022. This full planning permission, change of use of six person HMO to 9-person HMO. The construction of dormers to the rear to Belvedere Road, some where to get the plans out and look, but anybody got any comments at the moment? Councillor Stapleton.
Thanks, Chair. Yeah. I do have concerns over it in the number of rooms development and then size of there's 3 of the rooms in particular are tiny. You wouldn't, it's a single bed and there's no room for any storage. And then on top of that, on one of the floors, it's a shared bathroom. We've had this discussion before about HMOs. It's one thing having multiple occupancy, but given that we have gone through the pandemic and we know the importance of actually having segregated facilities for individuals in case somebody's ill, and the importance of having a separate bathroom, I think is something we would have to consider. Shared bathrooms and the question, but the design was certainly some way.
I was actually looking at the application as well and looking at it, like, one of my friends who lives, up north, he's doing loads of HMOs all over the country. It's just turned 23 bed HMO up in Newcastle. And a lot of people now are going into loft space, putting these massive dorms in to get to 3 bedrooms. But looking at the actual plans, yes, they say we're keeping to the, the minimal amount in all of these bedrooms, but quality of life, in my opinion, looking at their one small single bed, then a shared bathroom next to another single bed is, in my opinion, if they're going to go in the dormer, which then it looks at how much money it's going to be raising per month, it's not attractive. I personally think, why not have a double room with an ensuite up there? It makes sense. But yeah, good thing is, if I'm correct in saying, it's at the rear of the property anyway, the dormer, which is a good thing, but I definitely think having 2 single beds and shared bathrooms is not as great. Councillor Tully?
Thanks, Chair. Can we have a look at the main plans? Yeah,
Right, if we go on to, Marcus.
Sorry, I'm just looking through the planning statement that's supplied by the planning agent. They do say that the size of the rooms do exceed the sunset HMO licensing standards, but obviously that's then whether they change. Something that then we can be acceptable to yourselves as something else, but just want to add that.
So that's the ground floor. To be honest, nothing's really changed in those areas. There'd be more going on the 3rd floor, I think, looking at the just last time. I think it's just.
Is it the employee stage or something?
They're probably looking at us while we do the application.
You can zoom in, John, and at the top, if you've got the little arrows there.
So that's the loft. So you see the dormer to the, if I'm correct, the right hand side, well, it would be to window dormer. But yeah, it's pretty tiny. Councillor Esper.
I know we kind of had this circular argument about some people can't afford more versus the size of the rooms, but we want people to come and live in our town like this. That's not it, is it? That's not. You struggle to stay there for the night. I just, I don't mind have a bit of being required about something. That's a come. I think if it does exceed the minimum requirement, then the minimum requirement needs to be.
Thank you. Also, look, I think, going back to comments, like while you're in that bedroom, if you're staying there for a month, 6 months, where is storing in that? It's like, and also like, you're gonna come out of that shared bathroom, and you're gonna be like, where do I go from here? And what if you don't even know that person? Like, it's, Councillor Tully?
If we turn it down, we need to have an explanation why we have to turn it down.
Yeah.
And if it's down within the regulations of the council, we don't have a job. We need to have a good reason so we can object to it.
So there is an option of layout and density of the building. So which I'd probably say is the correct layout for us to pick as an option. Councillor Lister.
No, I still think in previous meetings we've objected based on shared facilities.
Okay, so what we'll do, we'll reject, we won't support the application, but what we'll do is do other reasons, and please explain. So what we could actually do is the layout density of the building, but also what we could do is then go, shared facilities in the in the comments box. I mean, councillor Staple.
Stuart, would it be possible, I think your suggestion were, we talk for the, going for the first floor, I think that actually okay. But it's that top floor, like the sheer bathroom and the size of the bedrooms. To say, I don't know, say that's the one we have an issue with, but the other floors actually still appropriate. But if we could just the top floor to say, maybe possibly one double. And sort of suite, which would be for 2 ways and a shared room and a suite bathroom, rather than 2 separate tiny bedrooms and a shared bathroom.
So when we go down the option, we leave a comment or recommendation, because really we're recommending the top floor needs a change, but then really, I think we go down the route of commenting really on the whole thing. What do you say, Mark?
So I was just going to say, an objection has a stronger weight when it comes to what the unitary council, their processes. If you just comment, it won't trigger the necessary things that it can do under their processes in terms of it maybe then look at the committee, their committee. Just don't agree with me.
Go down to. So yeah, going alongside that, then I think it'd be a good idea if you agree that we reject it on reasons for or cons. And if that's the case, should we go for can I have a proposal in the room? Councillor Lester, can I have a second? Councillor Stainford, and we will go for the vote to reject with our comments. It's carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chair.
Councillor Tully.
So can we put a comment in that in this day and age to have shared bathrooms is not normal? Normally in most hotels, we would always have your own suites. It's not, this is not the way it should go.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
I wonder whether there's an issue, particularly said in the plans that there are 2 parking level spaces at the moment for the 4 bedrooms, and it'll be changed to 9 bedrooms. Do you want me to add in anything about yeah, okay,
I think also,
sorry.
Councillor Susan.
Yeah, just going back to what Tack said at the start, I think there is provision for bikes there at the back, so
Yeah.
just double checking.
9 spaces for bikes on post.
Great. Thank you. So, going to the next application was, by 38/24/0031. This is a removal or variation of conditions. Variation of condition number 2, approved plot, approved plans of application 38-16-0116 for the erection of a dwelling with detached garage on the land of the rear of 17 Close, Taunton. Yeah, and I think this is two applications. So looking at plans on the original, since the original application that got approved, correct? The all they've done is for like kind of all the next door neighbours section of the garden. So they've got kind of dog leg now. That makes sense. So the garden's not going to get, it's not going to actually change next doors because they've still got that fence, but instead of it being further down the garden, it's just all closer to them. So the actual look of their garden's not going to change, but I think all that they were looking to do is put that detached garage. The only thing that, like come up really, because at the end of the day, it's just gives it more of a function of the house, but also at the same time, it's got a slight more wow factor to the house as well. You got any comments anywhere else?
No.
No?
Yeah.
We willing to support it, yeah. If so, our proposer, councillor Tully.
Yep.
We have a seconder, councillor Lester, and we'll go to the vote. Yeah, right, it's carried. Thank you very much. The next application is 515, which is 3A-24-0030, which is a full planning permission, erection of a park single story and a park 2-story extension to the rear, including that first floor roof terrace at 7 Wellington Road. When I looked at this application this week, it's a pretty amazing house, and I'm quite envy. I'm also a bit of envy of what they actually want to do. So looking at it, I think it's amazing what they actually want to do. Yeah, and can't it looks like a dream. My only slight worry, and I don't know if anybody else has thought that, I don't know whether it's a slight overdevelopment on this house, but that was my only thing. It looks like it's just loads of added extras on top. But you look at the actual floor plan layout, and it doesn't seem to be that way at all. It looks like it kind of runs quite well into each room. So that was my only slight base, but councillor Lester.
So I noticed on Wellington Road, I guess this is town end, isn't it? I'm just trying to think where it is. Yeah. Is it one of the houses down near Tesco? Because we've got maps.
It's just find Manor Road and then clear from it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
When it comes to roads in town, the only roads in there is fine.
Yeah, exactly. I think I know what it is, it's just, I'm trying to think of, talk about the overdevelopment, whether or not within the context of its surroundings it is, if you know what I mean, does it actually enlarge?
This, but I mean, there's a garage, I mean, it looks, so if you Google map it.
Yeah, that's what I was trying.
One thing I really do like that a lot of people now are doing, which I think in place they are doing, is those what they call like skylights. So yes, I see like parapet walls, and then you walk in, and it's like it's a bit like that. And I think it looks so nice.
Yeah. No, there's plenty of space around it, I don't know.
Yeah.
So looking at the size of the note, that is the house in its current state as of 2021. So yeah, it's quite symmetrical. The work they want to do is just it looks like it's got a lot of space. And I like what they've done. I don't know if anybody else is saying. Yeah.
The extension is all on the right, looks like it's entirely that anyway.
Side extension.
God bless the second.
Actually, the new work they're going to do to it is actually going to complement it more than it's there currently. So I think it's going to improve the property anyway. So if we're all in support of this application, can I get a proposer? Councillor Fernandez, can I have a seconder? Councillor Toots, and we'll go to the votes. Next, Karen. Thank you. The next application is 516, so it's 3A-24-0032, which is full planning permission, replacement of conservatory with the erection of a single-story extension to the rear, replacement of a 2-story extension to the side with an additional infill 2-story extension and erection of a single-story extension to the front of the 10 Blacklands Road. If anybody likes to hear me, I think it's please. was gonna get that, yeah.
Right.
Looking at its application, I thought it was a great idea. It maintains it's quite a more sized house, but it does some very clever architect design to kind of max it out, but still maintaining the foot size of the property. I think it's going to improve what it looks like at the moment drastically. So I don't see issues.
We've perhaps looked at the photos.
Yeah,
The photo.
yeah.
Okay.
Photo montage.
And Google Maps.
No, it's just that.
Number 09 is photo montage.
The third one, in and down.
I just find that myself, photos are the best way to.
Councillor Fay.
This is the standard thing that's happening in a lot of houses now. I don't think might be reason to object to it.
People want to do their.
They have to, know.
Especially with like mortgage rates going up as well, with people who are situated in the house with a mortgage for like the next 5 years, they're probably looking to think, I'm going to invest in my own property. 100%. You got any other comments? Councillor, yes, sorry, so support the application. Can I get a proposal? Councillor Stan. Can I get a second? Councillor Fernandez. Can I have a vote? Yeah, that's carried. Thank you very much. The next application is 5.7, 38-24-0029, full planning permission, with demolition of a garage and erection of one, dwelling with associated works in the garden to the side of the Elms over Corner Close. Thompson. Councillor Susan.
Well, while we're looking through this, if I remember rightly, it was one of the visuals or images that made me think this was quite jammed in yesterday. But I can't remember now to assist which one it was, but I might be mistaken.
It's happened. If you put Google Maps up, you can see.
Councillor Stapleton.
I was looking at one of the things that I noticed initially with concerns is actually the access of this such a strip of land. It sits right in the vein. So first of all, you've got the question of access to the proposed site models. And also that road is it is a dead end. So if the number of houses on that road, there will be traffic coming in and out, and it's not through traffic.
I think it's further down.
No, it's not. It's if you come back, but you're better looking at it on satellite and looking down because you can't actually go with a private drone.
There is a photo on in the actual files that have been uploaded that.
Yeah, I like it.
From what I see, obviously it's a single vehicle drive going in. Because obviously it used to be the garage and it's got the house. It does actually dive off into 2 car spaces. So obviously you're coming to like a turtleneck, yeah, where the road is of 2 cars and come out. But yeah, I do understand. So it is quite a tight plot.
And why? I'm actually getting that in the issue. Can't scale it, it's not much work in the garage.
We tried some of the other proposed, I can't remember which one it was, Jess, but one of the things on the, one of these shows it, that how cramped it is.
Oh, that'd be quite good. Should we get that?
That's not existing.
The Mark's just going to put on the computer at the moment. He's now on that. It's actually from the road, so you can actually see from the drive. That should be quite nice.
Yeah, to be different. It's full of ifs.
Right.
There's multiple.
Well, that's why that one is being knocked out.
Yeah, the one garage, yeah, that's what's going, I think, is the garage door again, so.
Councillor Stapleton.
Next year, and then we can sort of see the picture. I can see there's still that driveway is for multiple houses, not just those two houses. If you were to put in a house on a lane and say where the driveway is, those vehicles would more than they would have to reverse out onto that road. It's such a tight corner and the strip of land is so narrow, I'm not sure how they're going to get their cars in and out. And there's, I think, about 3 houses along that road and it is a dead end. So they can exit the entrance, the other end of that road, they have to come past that house and that house.
What's the same plan?
Yeah. I kind of see what you're saying. So say if a car came in here and somebody's road coming down the road, they're going to have to reverse. What they could do, which would be quite helpful, and if, you know, as an improvement, maybe as a comment, maybe they have to kind of widen their drive to allow for, but I still don't think that's going to get an issue. Oh, Councillor Tyler. Right.
I personally think it's overdevelopment. It's it's without doubt.
Yes.
Councillor Seaton.
I couldn't see any objection, so is it all the same person that owns, there's 4 different houses down there already, if I remember rightly, the Elms, that side on the left, it's 4 house names. So I can't believe that that nobody's objecting if they're all different owners, but.
Guessing that roads, there's.
Share one of the problems you do get when the neighbours know each other well, they won't object.
So, gathering like information on the route, are we, I think, kind of getting the feeling that we're rejecting the application, with comments to, I'd say, correct me saying, the layout, density of building, so overdevelopment. I think it's probably the correct, box, is that given ones, number 3, on this application, to reject it in number 3.
Yeah.
Can I get your proposer, Councillor Stapleton? Can I get a second there? I'm serious, so. Can I second the rate? Can I communicate? Yeah. That's carries. That's a Sounds quite nice. So the next one is 5.8, which is 38-24-0038. It's full planning permission, which is formation of window and door opening at Bedford House, Park Street, Thamesden. Yeah.
It's nothing.
We have a look at the proposed alterations. I think that's the 4th one down. Yeah, that's correct. So that's sufficient. Yeah, good, yeah. Yeah, if you want to propose elevation block B, that'd be great. And then also out building. Thank you. Councillor Lester.
Sorry, I've got distracted because of the image appeared. I was just, did we not have an application in the last meeting for this development as well? Yes, it was. I'm just wondering, is it, just because I'm quite new to this thing, is it normal to have multiple applications just arrive one after another, just almost try and get a lot through instantly? It seems like they're you know, taking liberties. If it's not like they didn't know they wanted to do this when they got the other thing.
So from what I'm saying, back in January, or maybe November, because we were hearing the simplified, we might be right in saying that we had an application through increasing the amount of people living there. We were saying about parking. So
Yeah, it was impact parking in, sorry, and it was also increasing the number of dwellings on what was already a high density development. There was something about Stanley, because I remember asking what on earth it meant, because I didn't understand the statement. But again, I kind of feel like they're trying to slide things through a bit at a time. And I don't know whether that's, I mean, it's perfectly allowed, I'm guessing, but it just feels it's slightly disconnected. You know what I mean?
It's what we do.
It's what the initial, or it's just they sort of went in because they're just designing on the.
sometimes this happens as well when a budget, you know, maybe they have an end of year budget that's not here, and perhaps they're going, right, we've got like £500,000 to spend. You know, we want to make this place even better than we originally thought. Let's put an application in. So they're looking to change the windows, going to be putting in some roof lights, which is good. In my opinion, you know, the building itself is so ugly. Imagine quite happy somebody wants to spend something on it, to actually turn it into a modest, nice place to live. And usable. Yeah, 100% council less.
Yeah, sorry, my point, I was just learning on the job, basically. My point was particularly about this development as such. I just wanted to recognise that we have had multiple applications at the same place. I just wondered, is that normal? Is it
Mark's just said, we could possibly ask the developer to, if he wanted to actually come to a meeting to talk about his interest. Which, councillor Tully.
When does this have to be in to county? I said we won't have time to get there for our next meeting.
21 days?
A lot of time.
I think it's 21 days.
Moving point in chair, won't we?
But it's just wanting to.
Do you have any interest if they're going to be further application, information about what the end goal is of this, that's where it's.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So really on this application itself, yes, have a possible future meeting with the development to come one night. But on this application here tonight, looking at, are we, what we're kind of feeling in the room, I kind of get into a little bit, kind of, we're agreeing with the application. And if so, can I get a proposal?
Chair, just before we do that,
Rachel?
we don't have to give a comment. We can put a no comment on it. That they will then realise that we are looking at it, what they're doing, rather than making a comment where you can't.
Well, I shouldn't. No, it's like, it's
Yeah.
If you don't like to, it's a door to something.
Are you suggesting that the committee don't support the application, which is submit a no comment at this stage on this particular application?
I do, Chair.
Councillor Tish?
Sorry, what was that not supporting this? Why are they not supporting this?
We don't have
Councillor Lester?
So I mean, like I said, I don't obviously attract still really don't know. I mean, you know, I've seen, I'm not going to die for the generally, I've seen people should support a purchase, but €70 grand shout to get an education. Is there a more afoot? See what I mean? Are we expecting to look at one of these every month? That's really my question.
Yeah. Okay. So on Ray Tully, Councillor Tully's point, can I get a second? If not, then we'll go back to the original. If not, then we'll go back to the original to actually agree with the proposition.
Mhm.
You agree?
Yeah.
Okay, allow.
I'm not sure we found a reason not to.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, can we go for the vote then, please? Thank you, Karen. I'll say that. Application 5.9 is on the list, as Tuesday, yesterday's already been agreed, so we won't be discussing that tonight. So we go on to number 5.10, which is 3/24-0042-A, which is an advertisement display of one internally illuminated projecting sign, one internally illuminated fascia sign, and 3 non-illuminated detailed signs in nationwide 9 East Street, Taunton. Councillor Tully?
I want to declare that that's my bank.
I think we should all declare that our money's been through any of these. But yeah.
Have the banks with them.
Councillor Tully?
I'm happy for the committee to have a look at this, but I don't see any problems with this. As the town centre store, it's giving a new sort of zing to the store. So I don't propose we spend too much time with this, but happy to be struck down.
I agree.
Yeah. So can I get a proposal to support? Councillor Tully, now seconder. Councillor Fernandez. Can I have a? I went to sign.
That's right now.
We'll go to the vote, please. Yes, Carol, thank you.
Interesting hands on.
Now it's not laughing, it's just going to carry on. The next application is 5.10, which is 3/24-0045, retention of building works, etc. Replacement of a conservatory with the erection of a single-storey extension to the rear. Conversion of a loft into a habitable accommodation with construction of rear dormer, erection and extension to a garage, and erection of a carport at 3 High Road, Sherford Road, Taunton. Retention of parking is already undertaken. So if we have a look at the proposed site elevations. Just middle, all 3 of them, that'd be great. Do you mind if I go through some comments that I found out a week? So I think it's a great idea, but I have some issues. Not the layout, it works great, but 2 design flaws, which is no to the zinc. So you see the dormer at the top. The dormer is going to be covered in the zinc coating. So all that's meter strips or 900 strips, and they overlap, and it's coated. It looks like anthracite, so it's dark coloured. No one in the area of this estate has it. it's not in keeping, but a better finish would be tiled fillets to match the brick effect, which is on a lot of dormers, which keep that kind of colour continuously on the stage, to the front of the dormers, or a painted render. Even though it's to the rear, I do agree, it's in keeping one bit. Congrats on the design. Also, the road brick work from the north side elevation. So see, so see the picture at the bottom. What happens that this is just now personal preference, but you see where you've got the original part of the house and you've got the extension where it's been rendered and it's like white. In my personal opinion, I think it would look better if the brickwork, which is above the bottom of the doors, carried on that line until it hits the pitch of the roof, if that makes sense. Because the other houses around the estate have this exact finish, which looking at it, we're looking keep with the rest of the estate. Apart from that, that's my only comments, really. But I think looking at it, they've done some great ideas. Like, it looks really nice, it really does. I'm unsure about this zinc. Is there any chance we'd be able to get up on Google Maps this house? Because I don't understand what I mean about this. No other house like that. Councillor Fernandez?
Yes, so while we're doing that, I'm guessing that there's no, and I hear what you said about the zinc, but about the exterior, I'm guessing that there's no actual, in the deeds or anything like that, that they've got to conform, they have to look exactly the same. So I guess it is not so much a planning issue, but obviously it's about but again, I hear what you're saying, but certainly about the zinc. I think the painting and the exterior rendering, I think that's just their choice. Because they're all different.
From past points as well, it's like I know that extension is going to be painted white, it's in somebody's back garden, but I definitely think it has been maintained. All the way around.
So you should to the right side, so you keep one, see in the red box in both.
Yes, you see the brickwork, it's the same type of windows, there's painted above.
And what you can
If on the other station house, it's a similar look set.
they have, but that was the case when that comes in. Yeah, might be maybe to go back, but then I've seen them in your video.
That's this.
Yeah, I mean, as someone that's in the process of renovating their house, they see the zinc on a telly programme and they go, oh, that's not sure, and that's why they put it on, because I do that every second day on my extension. So I don't have a problem with it. I think, you're right, but I think in terms of the fact it's probably not visible from this angle anyway. I think it's personal preference at the end of the day.
That's what it is.
But would the planning officers have commented on this or already looked at this already and perhaps made comments on materials, etc., or not at this stage? They will have, won't they, officers? Do officers have any problems with it at this stage?
I don't know if there's any comments on them. There is any, unless they've done a pre-application, but we can see that on the public portal.
I also find that when you see a lot of people putting, where we're at the moment, there's some quite in a new estate, and everybody's got white windows, and then this one house has just put anthracite windows, and it stands out like a sore thumb. And I know that thing is going to be from the back side, like in here, so yeah, I'm not sure.
It doesn't seem to be
I love contemporary twist, but I think it's Councillor Tuttle.
We're saving for themselves.
We should say that the children should be in character with the house.
Yeah, just
That covers it then.
Yeah.
The dorm, I've got no problems with.
Yeah.
It's not things happening.
Yeah.
So I think. Yeah.
So we can tell someone else the grant is then.
So am I right in saying that we'll support this, but we'll comment on the materials side of things? Does that sound good? Yeah?
Does it fit in keeping with the other parties?
Yes.
Maybe.
I think that's right, yeah. So should I get the proposal, please? Oh, Mr. Lester.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a second to the vote. Councillor Twos, can we go to the vote? It's carried. Okay, 5.12, is 38-24-0055 CMO, which is compliance MA notification. Application to determine if prior application is required for a change of use and conversion of commercial, business and service use, class E, into a one dwelling, class C3, 19 Eastbourne Terrace. That's actually. Councillor Suze?
Yeah, Chair, I think it's just down the road from me, so I believe that hasn't been a shop for quite a long time now anyway. That's not to say the change of use doesn't need to be determined, but I went down there yesterday and there is the work to turn it into a flat has begun already, so.
I thought you were going to say you had an interest in the shop.
Speaks then.
I did quite sweet.
To add to that, I have no objection to it being turned into residential property.
Yeah, okay, so we'll support this application. Okay, can I get a proposer? Councillor Stainthorpe, can I have a seconder? Councillor Tully, and should we go to the vote? Full house, yeah, all good, can we go? The next one is 5.13, which is 38-24-0043, which is full planning permission, erection of a porch to the front and a single story extension to the side and rear of 32 Essex Drive. Straight up. Right, if we have a look, that's perfect. Then we do another one then of what the building looks like now, which is good. How much better is that looking at like plans in like that? And then they've actually done the same for the original as well, so you can see how the house like twists and it looks pretty good.
I think next doors have done the same for the corner.
Right, okay. I think you've literally just done the same job at Derek's. And it opens people's quality of life, massive kitchenettes or, dining rooms, definitely, like I said, again, people with mortgages going up, people want to improve the house. If not, these houses that haven't been updated for a long time, finally lose.
Same story in stage and see the room. Yes. I like the roof windows so that you nice and white until.
Yeah. If we look at the existing house plans as well, just so we can kind of get a so there you go, E2. What house manager? There you go. See the difference? And looking at the application as well, and what's really important is obviously materials that merging into the same property. You know, hopefully keep the same key lines with the bricks, with the developers. It's really keeping the values, so you value. So, do we have any comments?
I think we've got to accept this is going to happen more and more as we go through. And I'll be able to accept there's someone brings something out which is really out of place. We have an option to accept this.
Perhaps a round extension. So I think, yeah, in the building room, I'd probably say we're supporting the application. So could I get a proposer? Councillor Steinbock, can I get a second then? Councillor Lester and to go.
He's looking at it first.
Yeah, it's Karen. Yeah, Lester, you might as well sit outside. It's been up to late. Okay, application 5.14, which is 3A-24-0056, which is the Board Planning Commission. Demolition of a single-storey element and outbuildings and erection of two-storey and single-storey extensions at Western Kirk, Manor Staple Grove.
How is it? So.
Yeah, that's what it's the red, that's Western Kirk in there.
I was thinking.
It's the post office.
There's they're only class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a similar property like this. You know, when you drive out of the 20 hours, like 5, you know, you've got that 30 mile an hour speed camera. To the left of there, just like, oh, it's pretty much in the same conditions. Yes, same there.
Yeah.
So, say, so where is the entrance, the current entrance to?
Yeah. Keep these things. If we go back to the take reform. Yeah. If we go on, let me have a look. I think if we have a look at, would, yeah, design and access statement. Yeah, yeah. Yes. Nothing is seen there, that's the get. Councillor Tibbs?
Chair, just note there was a heritage statement on there. Is that no comment from them, or is there a comment? I didn't realise it was an older house, so it was already different.
So Heritage has concluded the items they want to demolish, aka the scullery and AK's scullery and kitchen, offer little architectural interest and see no issues with the whole gable showing. And so what they're doing is where those two items were, they're pulling that down and then they're building a double extension, or two-story extension, which brings that gable out, but it's still going to be finished exactly the same. So what they're saying is they're not going to lose any architectural interest because it does look like a shit. But it's going to be added, but because the double extension is going in front.
So they're bringing the gable out where the chimney is.
Yeah, it's going to be having the same finish, but will increase the benefits to the property. They don't see any issues. Councillor Tibbs? Oh, sorry. Councillor Thomas.
I still think we should say that the materials must be in keeping with that older. Although that we said we should also say as well.
Keep maintaining that constant, yeah, I think, yeah. You know, at the end of the day, if we'll come to stage that it will be a contemporary twist, which obviously just, but we want to maintain the same materials throughout.
Yes.
Again, if we would probably say that's a, to agree on the application. So can I get a proposer? Councillor Tyler, can I get a second? Councillor Lester, go to the vote to agree, support.
I think it's.
So with the comments. Yeah. Yeah, it's carried. Thank you. So number 6, submission of comments, feedback on behalf of the town council to notifications of planning applications in the area. To approve the submission of comments on planning applications notified and submitted previously to Somerset Council. Yeah, Marcus.
So these are the applications that unfortunately due to the 21-day time limit, we can't consider this meeting because the deadline's passed. Just in terms of how you'd like to receive those, I think at the moment we're sending the notification each time one comes in to the committee. Is there a preference for how you're wishing? Is that too many emails, or would you rather them wrapped up consciously, then that eats into the time that you have then to consider them? Because the 21-day clock starts when we get given the notification. So I just want to see whether there's any preference as to how they're being received, or if there's any way we make life easier. Thank you.
Councillor Tully.
I personally think we should get them absolutely worked on. Otherwise we could end up with 10, 20 within 2 or 3 days. That's not good. Doesn't give us a chance to read.
Councillor Lester.
Speaking honestly, I really struggle to actually view anything that's outside of kind of the meeting I'm going to immediate preparation for. So, my thinking, I'm very rarely mounting to get to actually read anything that's out of that sequence. So it doesn't matter to me, but I would go with the consensus in terms of what people say, because I'm not actually planning to actually deal with the sequence and what it means.
In case there was options for people to actually view them, if they could get a chance, would there be, because sometimes we all get it, or we get like 10 emails a week, and then the next week we'll often get more emails. Before you know it, you don't even know the planning and transport committee agenda. It's like so many emails. Well, is there any chance in which we could be able to get those applications that come in within the 21 days into like a separate folder or something like that? Yeah, file. So we like click and we go, oh yeah, there's.
So we have to just so that especially the emails, it's available, it's updated. So Marcus as they come in, if they're within that, these.
Yeah,
She was
that's
right.
right.
We can use one for the family. Okay, that's. Should be saying not to be able to review that.
I just think that might be a bit more efficient for everybody, because sometimes people don't have like, hours just to like, admit, because at the end of the day, everybody, whether they put their application in the time which we can look at outside, they should be given it an even chance to for anybody to comment. So I think having that more efficient for us to look at more obvious and definitely Councillor Toots.
Yeah, just second to that, just a question, when we don't have a chance to look at those, what do the council, the unitary see? Do they see no comment from us? Do they see that we haven't viewed them, or is there a difference? Because I'm just aware that if they get a no comment, does it look like we've just looked at it and ignored something awful?
Probably.
Yeah, I think that's a good point I made, Marcus.
Yes, so we submit a email to Somerset when the 21 days pass saying no comments from the town council, and we sort of have to do that because. Well, we have to say that because it's a picture. Yeah, I was going to say, can we have a not reviewed and a no comment?
Councillor Lister.
That was, sorry,
Sorry.
sorry, so just I was just going to say, is it possible to actually identify when it's not been viewed? Because I think, I don't know, seems, well, well, this was not, but then I did regular house things, so.
Councillor Sable.
Yeah, and okay, sort of two questions. One, in some cases, they're fairly small applications, which maybe isn't such an issue, but some implementation can be large applications. And for example, in most of the last ones that went through that 21 days, there's the possibility to do the conversion of the commercial to residential with stable law in a Oxford Road, which is quite an important one for the area. And there's quite a lot of emotion with residents around that area. So it's something that is quite important that maybe slipping through, but maybe one that is one we really need to discuss as a community. One, we noticed something and we feel that it needs to be discussed as a community. How do we handle that? Are we, if it's outside the 21 days, we just can't. That's one.
So, so in that case, we have had instances where we, Tracy's talked to the planning officer and said, although this is without outside 21 days, can we have a bit more of an extension to the time so that we can consider a committee? Sometimes they are able to offer that. So yeah, there are any like that where you think actually a committee should be considering that.
Councillor Fernandez.
Yeah, it's just sort of just to repeat what I said before the meeting is for some reason I'm not getting those emails at all. Planning applications not, because normally they're coming through regularly because I set it on the table so I can just go through and see what I've seen. But I've just not got anything through.
Might need to look at item.
Also, when these applications get put in, will they be, I guess we, but would they be advised that you put your application at this point, you're going to be outside the window of getting actually a meeting response happening for committee with town council planning? Do they know that? They wouldn't know that. So okay.
Can I just ask one more question as well? Obviously, at the moment, we're just sending out applications to the Planning Development Transport Committee. Do you think that should be going to all councils? Because obviously there are some where they're particularly awarded that not all wards are represented on this committee. And I just wondered your views to whether the whole of the council will go or should be set at least so that they have sight, getting a few miles on.
Councillor.
Well, we've got to remember these small applications are quite easy to be deal with them. What's starting to concern me if we start getting large applications from major developers. And we must see those, and we must go through them. If we don't really get a lot of trouble. What we were saying just now, can they change it? If developers do change the planning very quickly. I've learned this from Westmoreland. We've had an application coming 1 month. Following month, we had a similar application and they changed their designs, or they changed the number of houses they want to build. If we don't get this information quick enough, we should also be prepared to go to sites to look at these sites as well. Yeah, see exactly what they're going to do. And we've got three, and in the town area, we have 3 major developments coming up. So we ought to be aware of them. And the rest of the people, the rest of the council should also be aware of them, because it affects them as well. Eventually.
So. This one first. So, can councillor Staple?
Just, I listened to receive the basic videos. Has there been a change in the case?
Yeah, I just thought we were doing things differently, so I just embrace it because you need to change. But no, I've not had any for a long time.
I'll follow up with John after the meeting. We'll have a look and see whether the IT or the mailing list has gone wrong.
So it's new.
Yeah.
New or something.
But if we're going to change it to all councillors, then perhaps that's a different
Yeah,
name.
exactly, which I think would be absolutely the right thing to do, because there's so many different areas of making in Ireland. And you would set on this plan.
Okay. All the councillors can finish.
And also with sending out some councillors, there may be some people in the council who don't have the interest of being in planning, but if it's in their ward, they still feel strong. But if they don't know about it, then they're in their ward, they'd be like, oh, you're giving comment worth. We're not Superman, not Superman, not every application goes on, but it would definitely keep everybody more close to the ground. So, councillor Tully.
Yeah, that's correct. So normally the local council will know what's happening, what the feelings are around, and they can bring that back to us, which would normally happen. But I know this is a town council, but in a district council, the local council for a ward may even come in and say, I disagree with it, because they can give a comment to us as much as we can. They can actually come here and comment on behalf of their constituents. So I think it's very important that everybody knows what's going on.
Okay, thank you, Pat.
Okay, so we'll get to support the.
The one sentence is submitted in the interim.
Okay, so get a proposal standard to agree on the submission of the comments in the application. Councillor Fernandez, and secondly, Councillor Staple. Who goes to the vote? It's carried.
Score the paper.
It's in the
That's meeting closed.